Hi, this is Javin, a chemical engineer by profession, going to continue our today's topic, safety tips for working at height. Now, what is that? Whether you work at height every day, only on occasion, working safety should always remain top priority. It takes one mistake to turn a routine task into a serious injury or fatality. You must be prepared to protect your employee each and every time could be exposed to fall hazard. Now, what is working at height? Working at height refer work where person could potentially fall and injure themselves. A ladder or roof edge, an opening of floor, even a loading dock can be considered working at height. In general industries, fall protection required as per OSHA for the only height change 4 feet or more. Here there are safety tips help them mitigate the risk of working at height. Now, first safety tips, use railing. When you can use railing, railing is form of passive protection, the easiest and most recommended way to keep your work safe while achieving compliances. There are no training or extra equipment needed because there are nothing that they need to actually do to keep themselves safe other than stay with the rail. Their railing system almost every style rooftop such non-penetrating roof railing, mounted railing, metal roof railing and more. Regardless of which type you use once in a place, you will find rail to be easiest fall protection system to use. Second tips, select the proper PPE. Now, they are going to use personal fall arrest system. You need to ensure you are choosing the proper equipment. All full body harness meet standard will be performed the same despite the cost. However, price differential can get you something extra. Sure, sometimes it's a just name, but other time it's a functionality that you are gaining or sacrificing. Such extra D-ring, fireproof material, or arc safe design, sometimes more expensive, harness costs more simply because it's been made more comfortable. Now, your research and determine what you really need. If you have worker welding at height, the standard nylon harness probably won't have the heat protection you need. Calver might to be best option. The comfort is important, but the main concern has to ability to adjust harness to fit properly, ensure work as designated. Safety lanyard need properly selected as well depending on height which you are working. 6-inch lanyard which are the acceleration device that protect your worker. Instant retractable lanyard might to be necessary. Each situation is different. So you need to evaluate your working condition and task to be performed in order to give your employee some time will actually protect them. Now inspect your personal protective equipment. Great. You got equipment. You need to ensure protect work environment. It won't matter if the system are worn and fail. Harness lanyard need to inspect annually, not more frequently, and a competent person have knowledge of recognized hazard and the authority to correct it. Evaluate. However, proper PPE should be inspected by using prior to every use. It is important. Anyone who might using device understand what are looking for it. There are expectable or not. The step to be taken should be there to be issued. A pre-use check doesn't have take a lot of time. You need to be through. Step could be difference between life and death. Now, ensure you understand fall distance. You can wear all the fall protection equipment in the world, but fail to engage before you hit sometime. Pointless. This may sound like common sense statement. You would surprise easy to get a part from. It is not usual to go construction site or observe maintenance grow in a plant and see worker 10 to 12 inch off the ground. wearing 6-inch lanyard with the de-acceleration device. While at first glance you might think that it should work, there are a number of reasons why it won't. First, you have to add 3.5-inch distance account development of your de-acceleration device. Already, lanyard equals 9.5 drop. Unless you are 6-inch tall person, there are some pretty bad news. Your actually fall distance need not only include length of your lanyard when deployed, but also your body length and below D-ring and any sag in your harness anchor system. Count on good 18.5-inch minimum before you are able to use 6-inch lanyard with de-acceleration device. Correctly calculate the minimum distance to fall clearance before you need use of the system. Now, fifth one is the select expectable anchor point. Now, in this point, you might realize there are a lot of factors involved in it. Comes to fall safety, especially personal protective equipment, and we are just getting into what good is right harness and lanyard setup. The anchor point won't hold the load. The answer is none. The constitute expectable anchor point. Polyvinyl chloride pipe. No, it's a decorative pieces of steel on roof. The anchor point is usually expectable if designated and approved professional engineer has calculated expected load or it can clearly handle load 5000 pounds. Now since many structures withstand their forces choose structural steel with a proper beam clamp or instant correctly manufactured roofing card or anchor. Now use proper equipment for working at height. Just harness. There are no one size fit all, neither fall protection solution. In the some solution, the scaffold is going to be your best solution. Work at height. This might to be painting your self washing low level window or equip the scaffolding with railing. Safety precaution will make you fall protection such easier to address. Other time scaffold invisible and you are find yourself in a lift depending on type of lift. You may not need wear harness lanyard and still some of the other using ladder. Point of requirement fall protection become thicker. You are talk about the further down portable durable scaffold replace work from the ladder like easy tech system. In the end, it is important to recognize your situation to elevation system required whenever they are ladder, scaffold, aerial lift, stairwell, protection system or any other solutions. And so, proper use of the aerial lift. There are many ways that something can go wrong when operating aerial lift. I won't get into actual operate there. However, we need to discuss lift with fall protection. One of the get missed quite often that person in boom lift time or height must be properly tied off. Now, properly tied off only means that they need secure the engineer anchor point design and for the lift, but it means they can't wrap their lanyard around the rail and need to have lanyard that actually going to protect them height at which they are working. With scissor lift, things are little different. What a site you are working on, owner of facility project may require and you are tied up the scissor lift. There is no regularity requirement. So however, even smallest mistake can endanger your life. It could be simply forgive to close your gate and secure your chain. One basic step you take decreases the risk and fall is keeping both the feet planted firmly on the work platform. Now use ladder properly. Ladder sources of many industrial and workplace accidents simply because of we take use of granted. Before using ladder, consider whether or not best solution the task. Make sure your employee are trained properly the ladder. It is not simple. You might think for safe ladder handling there are three main concepts to be considered. Have 3 feet extension of ladder past level which you are climbing. Have 4:1 ratio rise and run, and basically every your feet high ladder rises splash base ladder one roof away and structure answer have the 3 point of contact ladder all the time, two legs, one hand, two hand, one leg. You think about it. This means you do not carry some time and something such as bucket up the down a ladder. It would force to break the 3 point rule. Find another means like pulling it up by rope after transmitting or holding smaller item belt and pocket. Even a basic step ladder, it is important provide you employ the proper training covering most simple step, de-accelerate, risk hazard, your workplace, the fixed ladder 24-inch high. You will want to ensure worker are using ladder safety system which include lanyard, harness, continuous, vertical lifeline, cable or rigid rail that span the height of the ladder. Cages are no longer proper means to fall protection and that's just clean. Don't forget the transmission of the top. Make sure it protected ladder safety gate and permissible fall protection for secure safe experience. Now, ninth point are know when what type of fall protection is required. There are three factor think of the consider type of fall protection as per standard required by OSA frequently duration location of work OSA now use two term will help you determine frequency and duration work taking place. Infrequent work that is performed once month or less. Temporary simple short term task that 2 hours or less complete. And location of work. Once you determine frequency and duration, you will need to determine location, work in proximity, the hazard. The chart below you help you choose type of fall protection based on distance, the fall hazard. Now, location of work of hazard, temporary and temporary infrequent or is required or neither. We are considered according to table. Suppose less than 6 feet is fall protection required and fall protection required temporary cases, right? Between 6 feet and 15 feet, fall protection or designated area are required. And greater than 15 feet, protection not required. In temporary, infrequent or neither, fall protection or designated area are required above greater than 15. Now, last point is train. It is mentioned that various we have seen up till a 9 point. Now it is stress and understand that if you want to your employee work safety at height, they must properly train. Period. Not only training required by law, but they are just too much for error and confusion when it comes to person trying to protect themselves at the height without proper knowledge. Falls are leading killer in construction year after year. It's not just construction or industries or any other place where work at height follow. Many people, various other industries die. Fall accident as well. Arm your employee with knowledge. You need to keep themselves safe. Safe working height required proper training. Focus. Right safety precaution to be in place. Taking shortcut, becoming common complacement and lead to serious injury, fatal accident. To learn about steps you take to mitigate your fall hazard. Contact team, fall safety expert and free consultation are needed. Now, height safety precautions. Now, what is precautions? In case of working at height, the equipment used is suitable to job, the maintained and good condition. Workers are competent and trained, use the equipment, carry out the job safety, and all workers understand job and control measures placed to ensure their safety. Now, more complex job may be accompanied by the detailed method statement like activity. The permit to work system can be used to govern by duration at the work at height. Ladder. Ladder are accepted only exerts work, short duration if they should erected, correct angle, forward to one out, secure preferably top or footed, position close to work to avoid overreaching, protect the base of stop vehicle, pedestrian bumping to into them. Now step ladder. Step ladder spread their full extent loco. Only have one person on the ladder at any one time. Be appropriate and of correct grade of their intended use. Not have top thread, tool save and rear step used to foot support. Now mobile elevated platform. What is that? Now wear a safety harness. Only use platform on level firm ground. Work with train operator with ground level. Only use equipment stabilizer. Keep the platform with safe working limit and radius taking account of wind speed, beam, hanging, obstruction and power cable. Now scaffolding. Scaffolding should be erected and periodically inspected by competent person. Now, where the person might fall 2 meters or more, the scaffolding must be inspected by the competent person. Record maintained. Further inspection. This weekly and tagging system. It is useful way to inform worker that the inspection are taking place. A risk assessment may find need more frequent inspection also to be required after bad weather and always after modification. Additionally, towards scaffold should follow the manufacturer guideline to meet the correct height to base ratio. Have all firmly locked before use and never move while the tower is occupied. Have ladder access to working platform. Never use strong wind with broken missing incompatible part. Now Health and Safety Executive HSE has more information scaffold safety. They are additional equipment should be considered a least resort and no further means reasonably practical. This include net, airbag, harness, safety line, other fall resistance and RS equipment. They should be used, erected by trained personnel and tested and inspected regularly. Okay guys, this is up to 10 important tips about work at height. I hope you get sufficient knowledge after watching this video. Next Sunday, we have covered some another chemical engineering topics. Till then, goodbye. Do take good care of yourself.